My next guest wrote the book, Failures of the Imagination, the Deadliest Threats to Our Homeland and How to Thwart Them. Mike McCaul chairs the House Homeland Security Committee. He'll introduce new counterterror legislation in Congress later today. And, sir, welcome back and good morning to you. A couple of things to go through on this matter here. Did he act alone? Can we say that or not?
We don't know for certain yet. We know that DNA evidence was found on the unexploded IED device on 27th Street that is connected to the New Jersey unexploded pipe bombs and explosive devices. So we know there's a connection between those two. What we don't know at this point in time is, does that indicate another actor, another conspirator to this offense? And also, in addition to that, Bill, other individuals were seen in the video, both in New York and in New Jersey. So that is something investigators are looking at very closely. Now, it's very significant if it goes beyond just one lone wolf into a terrorist cell operation in New York.
No question about that. There's a report that his wife left the U.S. for either Pakistan or the United Arab Emirates days before the bombing took place. Is that true?
That's my understanding as well. We are also looking at these 3 trips that Mr. Ahmad took to Pakistan and Afghanistan, 3 separate trips. And when he came back, reportedly had radicalized upon his return to the United States. This is such a classic scenario where radicalization takes place when they come back, and yet it's not reported to authorities. It's unfortunate that wasn't done in this case.
Another question. He had been questioned at one point, perhaps on suspicious behavior, and then was ruled out. Is that true, sir?
Yeah, there was a domestic violence charge against him. The jury decided not to indict him. He stabbed a relative's leg. I don't know why he wasn't indicted for that offense. That possibly could have revealed more information, particularly about these trips overseas. I'm always interested in who he met with, who he talked to. Was he radicalized over there? One thing is clear is that something happened to him when he went overseas, because by all accounts, by his girlfriend's account and friends, he became a different person, a very radicalized, very deeply religious person in the Islamic faith, and I believe turned into a terrorist.
If that's the case, then, can you say in this case that he received help from overseas?
We can't at this point in time. Now, remember, the cell phones are being analyzed for what's called encrypted communications for any contact. His computers are being analyzed for any conversations he would have had with operatives, perhaps in Pakistan or Afghanistan or out of Raqqa, Syria. What we are seeing more and more, and I got briefed by the New York intelligence right after the 9/11 ceremony last week, is that they are saying less and less come to Syria and join the fight. Now they're saying stay where you are and kill where you are. This is disturbing from a Homeland Security standpoint, because that means that more and more of these individuals will probably most likely try to conduct acts of terrorism right here in the United States.
I think you can trace that back to last November when the attacks at Paris as well. That's when we first started hearing about that. Your bill will do what later today to prevent something like this, if at all?
Well, later this afternoon, I'll be announcing a national counterterrorism strategy to deal with this issue that we've been working on for the last several months. I think it's very timely, obviously coming out right now. We also have a bill on the floor tonight that I will be debating that we marked up out of my committee that provides more assistance to state and locals to deal with not only IEDs and suicide bombers, but these active shooter scenarios that we are seeing played out more and more in the streets of both Paris, Brussels, but now the battleground bill has been brought to the streets of the United States. And our law enforcement needs to have the proper training to deal with not only active shooter, but these pressure cooker bombs and IEDs and also suicide bombers. We think this will go a long ways in terms of preparation to prevent what is a war now in the streets of America.
Mike McCaul, thank you for your time. Later this afternoon, we'll pick
Bill.
it up then. Thank you again for coming back today. 20 minutes past.